right, guys. So today we're going to be talking about embracing the struggles of being a new white belt over the age of 40. We're going to talk about the top 5 issues that I've struggled with and how I've overcome those, the ideals that I've kind of put into practice to keep me sane and on this path. So number 5 is going to be time management. Balancing work, family, and training can be overwhelming, but structuring your schedule with clear priorities helps maintain consistency and progress on the mat. I went absolutely insane when I first started training, trying to get to every single class that I could. Some days I was actually doing 2 a days. Now, everyone told me, don't do this, take your time, go slow. But like everyone else, you kind of like find out this weird superpower that comes with jujitsu. You're learning things, you're getting into shape, you're, having that camaraderie around people, and it's easy to become addicted. But one of the things that happens when you're a little bit older is that your body just can't handle it. On top of that, if you're like me, you have a lot of responsibilities, a lot of things you have to take care of, family life, work life, all of the things that you have to balance and juggle. So I have made the decision that I'm going to work out 3 times a week. I'm going to do 2 classes throughout the week, and I'm going to go to an open mat on the weekend, kind of just allowing myself to get the fundamental classes in, also get that open mat rolling in, and just pace myself. It's got to be more of a marathon and less of a sprint. Number 4, and probably one of the most difficult things for me to accept, is physical limitations. Older bodies take longer to recover, making rest days and injury prevention key to longevity in jiu-jitsu. Listen to your body and not your ego. Again, I pushed myself so fast, so hard in the early stages of doing this that I actually suffered 2 injuries. I had a very serious knee sprain, and then I suffered a grade 1 shoulder separation a couple of weeks ago. Now, both of them seem like they're going to be okay. I'm doing my absolute best to kind of pace myself and coming back. But if you don't humble yourself to slow it down, your body will tell you that it's time to slow it down. Again, leaning back into the responsibilities that we have, the things that we have to do outside of the mats, work, family, all of that kind of stuff. If you're hurt, you really are putting in jeopardy your livelihood and a lot of the other things that are so important. So you really do have to find that balance. And I know how exciting and how fun and how cool this experience can be, but we do have to recognize, even though we're trying our best to push through, we are older and our bodies are breaking down. So you have to take your time and be cognizant of your physical limitations. Number 3, and something that I really didn't think I was going to struggle with that I really have, is the learning curve anxiety. It's natural to feel frustrated when progress seems slow, but embracing the journey rather than focusing solely on results will keep you grounded and motivated. So for me, one of the things that really led me into getting into jiu-jitsu is that I wanted to get into shape, but also I wanted to have that achievement of getting a blue belt. The issue is that when it comes to advancement in jiu-jitsu, there's really no linear path other than just showing up, doing what you're told, giving your best, and then waiting. The question is, how long do you wait? Well, the answer is until. And you're going to probably ask until when, and the answer again is going to be until. There's really no way to quantify or to validate how long it takes to achieve the goal of getting a certain rank, because we don't give ourselves that rank. Even if I went into the gym tomorrow and I was the absolute best on the mat, I have no bearing on when my instructor, my professor, thinks or views me as ready to get that belt of achievement. And I also think that that mindset coming in was a very skewed mindset. There's so many things that I've gained over the last 8 weeks of doing jiu-jitsu that have been so beneficial to me. I've quit drinking, I've lost weight, my mental health has been better, my mood has been better, my sleep, all of those things are playing into me just being better around the house, better at work, better in general. So there's a lot of things that I'm gaining from this that have nothing to do with a moment of achievement or a certain level of success. It's really important, like anything else, to just focus on the journey, not focus on the end point, not focus on the goal. Keep those as a lighthouse in terms of what you're going towards, but not make that the sole purpose of why you're doing what you're doing. Number 2, and something that a lot of men probably aren't honest about, it's confidence issues. When you're sparring with younger, more fit partners, that can be intimidating. Reminding yourself that skill and strategy often outweigh strength and that growth happens outside of your comfort zone. This has been, again, something that's been very, very difficult. I'm 6'2" on my heaviest. I can weigh anywhere from 280, 285. And right now I'm currently weighing in around 255. Again, I've lost some weight, but I've always been a big guy. I've carried myself well. It's not often that I find myself in a physical confrontation or where people are trying to put me in a bad situation. So being on the jiu-jitsu mats, you're literally wrestling with another person. I have been submitted, tapped out, ragdolled by everyone from 16-year-olds to men in their late 60s. And these are people who are very adept at what they're doing with jiu-jitsu. Jiu-jitsu in itself is extremely humbling. It shows you where you fall in the hierarchy of not just necessarily like strength or ability, but understanding of the techniques that come along with jiu-jitsu. Jiu-jitsu works. Smaller people, weaker people, less aggressive people have the ability to pacify and defeat stronger, bigger people. That's literally the point of the sport itself. So it's very humbling for people who have walked through life and never been in a position to where they have to fear people or be intimidated by people to be in a position of subservience and kind of, getting your ass handed to you. But at the end of the day, that's the beauty, I think, of why you're there. Being humble and understanding where you fall in line and the hierarchy of things, the respect for people, regardless of their size or ability, that is something that we really do lack in society across the board. So although it can be a little bit difficult at first, it's very important, and it's a lesson that we should all learn regardless of when. Number one, and this is probably often forgotten by people as you get a little bit older, it's the importance of commitment. Staying committed despite setbacks is tough. Remember, jiu-jitsu isn't a sprint, but a marathon. Progress comes from showing up, even when life gets in the way. It was very difficult for me having these 2 injuries, having some schedule changes, as you're working, as you're going through your life. Things happen that come up, and sometimes that interferes with you getting to the gym. It's also very important to remember how you need to stick to the plan. If you want to ultimately achieve your goal, if you want to get better, if you just want to get your money's worth, you've got to go. The thing about jiu-jitsu is that with all of the classes that are offered at your school, probably if you live in a major city, there's open mats in multiple schools. There's always an opportunity for you to get your rolls in and get your practice in, getting to the gym, doing your exercises, all of that. Regardless of how busy you are, regardless of what's going on, you can always show up. When I was dealing with my injuries, I was going to the class and just sitting there watching and taking notes, because ultimately, if I didn't make myself go and stay on that time schedule, I knew I would find a reason to not follow through somewhere down the line. So remember, if you're going to do this, if you've paid the money, if you've made the statement to your family and friends, remember, everybody's watching and you've already put yourself out there. Stay committed, get into the gym, and do your best to stay on the path. So guys, I want to know what your thoughts are. How's everything going with your journey? Are you currently going to classes? Are you sticking with it? Have you made the decision to compete? I got a little secret I'm going to share with you guys. I have decided to enter my first tournament. I said I wasn't going to do this, but I really do want to try it. I just want to see where I fall in line with other people who are on this same path. So I have made the decision that I'm going to enter a tournament in January. That will give me about 4.5 months to continue training. That'll give me about 6 months total on the mat before my first competition. And I want you guys to come along with me. So I'll be filming myself during my little training camp. And when I go to the competition, we'll make sure to film that so you guys can see how good I do or how much I get my ass handed to me. But either way, it's going to be a good experience, right? All right, so share your thoughts, share your comments. And as always, I want to thank you for being a part of what we're doing here. Please like, share, and subscribe, and be sure to come back for my next episode. Take care. Be great.